interview with us. So
Okay, hold
we
on.
are Let's Geek Pod. So thank you so much for being our guest. You are also breaking another barrier because you are our first Latina to be on our show. So congratulations.
Hey.
Catherine, we weren't recording. Hi, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, are we recording now? I
We're
was just
recording now.
okay.
Welcome to our chaotic podcast.
Hi everyone. We are two geeky ladies talking about issues in our lives
Relationship gossip.
and occasional politics, all while geeking and having fun. Let's geek. So today's episode is called Let's Geek on the Internet, where we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive into the internet. And we have invited our guest. Her name is Jessica Tran, where she is going to tell us her internet story. Because at one time she did go viral. So we want to learn about her story. So Jessica, thank you so much for being on our show. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Of course.
How have you been?
I've
Especially in this pandemic?
It's been chill. I mean, I wouldn't probably go out so much anyways, just because kids and everything going on in life and moving, finding a house.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations. So one of the things we always start off with our topics, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when we talk about the internet? And it can be any single thing that you're thinking about when you're geeking with us.
Honestly, I just think about like social media. I guess just because how big it's gotten and the fact that you know people make actual careers off of it and I don't know, it's just crazy how far the internet has come.
I know, because it wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
It's that was crazy. You know how when was it? Like back in, I don't know, was it
Like
the earliest 2012?
1998 or
No, 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 no,
1998,
no. When the whole
1999.
no, I
The
was
internet
thinking
used to be on a CD. Like,
no, I know. No, I was talking about how all of a sudden social media like YouTubers started making money. When was that the biggest? Wasn't that on the biggest news? It was like what, 2012 or something. I don't know. It was
yeah.
like somewhere in the mid 2000 or well
Yeah.
after that, and I was just like, you can make money off YouTube. At the time, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what? What a crazy concept.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that come to mind when I think of the internet is AIM. Does anybody remember AOL Messenger and what their first screen name was?
No.
Mine's just like some little ratchet thing called Lil Mamacita 69.
Really?
Wait, it was what?
Lil Mamacita, and it was like L with a big L, lowercase I, big L, and it was like Mamacita.
That's so cute. Okay, mine was QT419. It was like cute, and then it was T. And the reason why it was T is because it was a typo. I didn't realize it until after the fact, and you can change it. So I was basically stuck with it. So it was like QT419, where it was supposed to be cute 419 to represent my birthday, because I originally wanted the screen name Cat 419, but some douchebag somewhere in this world had claimed it before I did. So
AIM was huge. Like everyone had AIM.
yeah, and they ended it, I think last year or 2018. They
Did they
officially
really?
Yeah, they officially ended AIM. It was either 2018 or 2019. I do apologize that I'm forgetting which. It's one of those 2 years. It's just that with this pandemic and everything, it's like time is just off for me.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And y'all remember MySpace?
I loved
Yeah.
MySpace. I was addicted to MySpace.
So was
My-
I. Yep.
MySpace was my first social media besides Zynga. I used to play games on Zynga.
I made a Zynga and only used it maybe like once. And
I never got into it. Mm-mm.
yeah, I never got
That nor the penguin thing. You know what I did get into? What was it? Fanfiction.net, which is still running, I think. Fanfiction.net, and then some other thing. It's like Gia Guild or Gaia Guild. Yeah. I was into that.
Website. Oh wow, that's an old website. Is it
I know.
still
I know.
active?
Yeah, it's yeah.
That is wild. That's like a Blockbuster fossil.
Right? Yep.
Dang.
But do you remember when they started, like for MySpace, when they started adding the music, they finally accepted Latino music, like Latin music, and I was like, what? I had Aventura. I was like
And
Aventura, and then we had Wisin and Yandel. I was just like, and then you could put their music video or like their clip, and I was just like, yes, because I remember around that time that was happening. What is it? How do you pronounce it again? Gaia Guild or Gia Guild? I can never
it's
pronounce.
Gia-online.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. You could start, like, they started doing this profile thing, kind of like MySpace. And I remember it was Shakira all day on that thing when they were doing Hips No Lie. I had that playing all the time. Yep.
You want to talk about beef? Your top 8. You remember?
No, they
Your
were
top 8.
no.
It's like,
Didn't they reduce it?
like you got, like, I'm not messing with you right now. You don't piss me off. Okay,
And then you bump them
going
off
to
and you
number
put
1,
someone
I'm
else
putting you
in.
to number 7 to teach you a lesson right now.
So I had Mi Gente and Black Planet. And
Oh yeah, I remember Mi Gente. I remember my friends started getting me into it, but I always felt like it was creeps on that website, and I was like, I don't know, he a creep.
But it was definitely like a huge like Spanish community, and then like in my neighborhood, my best friend at the time, she was Jamaican, and so she had Black Planet, and then she made a Mi Gente, I made Black Planet, so then we would just had each other like on social media then. But on Mi Gente had music, so when we had MySpace, I would use the links that I would use on Mi Gente on MySpace since it didn't have music at the time. So that's how I would put music on my social media.
But do you remember what YouTube used to be originally? Before, you remember a time when YouTube didn't have commercials?
Yeah.
I feel like that was the
Really?
golden years of YouTube.
Before they sold it to Google.
Watching.
They sold it to Google, right? YouTube, right? Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Wait, how are you just getting hip to that?
No, I never knew that.
What, Cat? You always clock me for not knowing like movie quotes or some of this stuff. Remember, you were getting my ass on Mean Girls. Bitch, you didn't know YouTube.
She didn't know enough Mean Girl quotes. Like, I was just
gotta know Mean Girls though. Mean Girls is like.
Listen, I know enough to know what happened. I cannot repeat it word for word. Okay, this is why I'm not an actress. I can't act. However, I can write you a whole script. Like, memorization is like the worst thing for me. It's my worst enemy.
AOL, which was like kids online instead of AOL.
I remember AOL. Can you remember a time where we used to have to like block our phones in order to get internet?
Yeah. And then when someone would call and it would ruin your internet. Oh my God.
And then your mom would be like, "Get off my phone!"
Oh yeah.
She's like, "It's those darn kids on the internet." I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I wasn't allowed on the internet. Because my mom believes everything on the news. So she was like, no. And I remember like whenever she'd be on the phone, am I dreaming, or did you have to like unconnect something from your phone to connect the internet? So it'll be like a phone blockage or something. Wait, is that the same thing?
I think how it first started was dial-up.
Okay, that's what I'm remembering. Yeah, because that's when we started getting the internet.
Where it's like you had to pay extra for you to have a plan where you could like use the internet without it like, blocking your cell phone. Blocking your phone to, contact you.
Yeah. That's
crazy. But I'll tell you one thing I used to do when I was a little kid. I used to go on websites like Zoog Disney, which is now, I don't even know if Zoog Disney is still a thing, but
I doubt it.
The Hillary Duff, oh my goodness, what show was it? Hillary Duff was on, the Lizzie McGuire game, where you could change Miranda and you could dress up Lizzie, and they also had If That's So Raven. Oh, you remember that?
I remember that.
Okay,
yes,
well,
you could dress them up, Yasmin. You could dress them up. So you could dress up Raven.
I remember that. Oh
my God. Well, probably. Okay, I am a different species. Catherine, you called me a unicorn already, and we're not gonna get into why she called me a unicorn.
Yeah, there are children here.
That would be a conversation for another day. But the thing is, even though I've never visited that website, I've always gone to, what's the one for what is it? Fox 4 Kids, when they had the Agumon games, they had that stupid puppet girl or whatever she is, the Amanda show or whatever it is.
Yeah,
remember what I'm talking about? Yeah, I was on that. So I guess while you guys were on Disney, I was like on because I wouldn't. That was the closest Digimon game you could have ever gotten. Like you couldn't play at the time. They weren't even selling Digimon games in America. They did have it for Japan, but they weren't selling it for America. So that was as close as I could get. So
I was also on myscene.com.
Or PBS Kids too. When you were playing Author, what is it? Author? PBS, they had their own website too.
I never went on the PBS website, as in I went on Zoom.
That's right, because you were a girl of privilege and cable.
You know what? Jessica, answer this question for me.
Okay.
So in earlier podcasts, I mentioned that a lot of friends and people I know apparently did not grow up with cable, and I did. And we were not rich people. I'm not saying we were poor. We were doing, pretty decent at best.
Better than many.
So I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't know what the PBS life was like half the time. So, Jessica, did you have cable growing up?
Huh?
Did you have cable growing up?
Yeah, I did. I've always had cable.
Okay, well, all right. Okay. I guess I'm the only one who didn't grow up with cable.
In a way for having that?
No.
I shouldn't, but the fact that I know a lot of people that did not, I feel very privileged in a very weird way. And I'm like, how did my mom make it work, but y'all parents did it? That's all that, like,
hey, chill.
My mom needed to watch her stories. So.
Oh, my mom wasn't about that life because, you got novellas on basic cable.
Mm-hmm. I love me some novellas, so we already know about that. But as we talk about the deep diving into the internet, of course, there is the dark side of the internet, like trolling. Can you believe that trolling was a thing probably about 6-7 years? Trolling came on the thing. Now it's completely normalized.
Yeah.
Now everybody argues. I mean, let's be real here. I'm notorious for being in Facebook jail so many times. So I think you would know about it, Jessica, too. I mean, I posted about it a few times, and
that's actually why I stopped making videos, was because I was honestly getting so fed up with all the negativity. It's like people find it I don't know, a joy out of making someone miserable or making fun of them or something, especially men. They were coming at me hardcore. That's why I was just I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I don't know how celebrities deal with this on a constant daily everything they do in their life is always criticized. I couldn't do that.
Because you went viral. It's been about 5 years since you went viral, right?
Yeah.
So can you explain to our listeners what exactly happened when you went viral 5 years ago?
So I made a video and it went viral. I don't know why. Till this day, it was just a basic shuffling video, and it just it reached over 20 million views on Facebook, and then
congratulations.
Thank you. And then on Instagram, I ended up getting 50,000 followers, and I had all these fans in Turkey, and I don't know, it was just it was crazy. And then I kept making videos, I was posting, I got hit up by so many companies, raving companies that do raving clothes. I would promote. I'd have DJs hit me up and hey, I have this new single coming out, can you make a dance video to it? And it was cool because at the time Instagram videos were limited to 15 seconds. And
yes, I remember that.
15 seconds, I was getting paid $200.
So you were getting paid what?
$200 per video.
That's amazing.
So I mean, it was cool and it was fun. I got a lot of free clothes. I got all this free stuff. But at the same time, it got to the point where I guess some DJs wanted it to be my very first video that it became like forced. Like they wanted me to do the exact same thing so it could go very viral with their song, or they wanted me to wear specific clothes or like do this and do that. And it just like it really sucked the fun out of it for me. Like it just kept feeling forced. And I was like, this sucks. Like I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to respond to DJs anymore, or companies or whatever. And then it just like on all the buildup from all the negative comments as well, like I was just like, I'm just like over it. Like I couldn't do it anymore. So it lasted for like a year, maybe year and a half, and then I was just like, I'm done. Like I just
So you were just completely over it. So when people were contacting you, like, were you telling them that, you know what, thank you for the offer, but this is not for me. This was just something I was doing for fun, like, you know,
yeah,
but good luck to you.
I just stopped responding. Like with if certain like I became pretty cool with a specific DJ. I won't say a name, but it got to the point where it started getting like really weird. Like, oh, can you make sure you don't have socks or like your it was just your feet are showing or like I just like that's like it sounded like a foot fetish to me, and then it just like it became like kind of strange. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop responding to this guy. And then I don't know, it was just like I don't know. I feel like also DJs because they some of them were big. They thought like I'd be like bowing down, like oh yes, like I would do all of this for you, and but it wasn't like that at all. Like I have way more pride and like I don't know sense of self worth than to like
Good.
go down low and do some crazy stuff for attention. So I don't know. It was just like a weird time. Like it was cool, but at the same time, like I was in a very negative space, like mentally, and I couldn't talk to any of my friends about it because they were like, "Oh, like it just sounds like you're just making it a big deal," but like they didn't really understand, so I didn't really have anyone to really talk to about it.
So were most people nice though? There wasn't anybody that was like a creeper during the process,
Um,
because you know you hear some stories like that. Like some people are like, oh, I made this video and I got death threats, or oh, I made this video and next thing I know I
Oh
got
yeah.
stopped, or I made this video or next thing I know I got fired or somebody put my
so
address out
I
there.
definitely had a girl show up to my house, like
Wait, a girl?
a girl show up to my house, like
Damn.
Wait,
I
why?
So
Are you
I had no idea that this is what used to happen on Instagram. So before you could like customize like your location. So
Oh yeah.
so before when if I would customize, I was in California, but I did it in my house. My location, if you actually clicked on it, was my house address, not California. So I didn't know that until I had to figure out how the fuck this girl showed up to my house. And so uh that's how I ended up finding out. But it was just like really crazy because I had my old house in Laurel, my old house in Odenton, my two jobs were on there. So I'm like, did she drive around everywhere to find out like where I'm at or like
Oh,
how?
that is
He
scary.
didn't say anything or
No,
like
after that, I removed all my tags. I was like, this is a little insane. But that was very weird. That was the weirdest thing that she just like park outside my house.
I am so sorry. That is terrible.
Yeah, it's weird.
Whew.
Yeah. But
Well,
I
you know,
did but switching conversation though, because how you got viral with the shuffling video, Catherine mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm remembering the information right or wrong, you used to shuffle with a crew.
Oh no.
I was explaining to her about DMV's
Oh,
circle, how we
shuffling.
used to go. Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
I told her she doesn't know about the whole rave thing.
No,
So I
I'm not part
basically
of
had
that.
to
I don't,
explain the
yeah, I
whole
don't
like,
even listen to
yeah.
the music like that either.
There's a group in DC where that's called DMV Shuffle Circle, where of course you've got instructors and you've got members, and all they do is, they shuffle, they teach each other to shuffle, listen to music, connect, vibe, and it's a really nice thing. They've been active for a while. It's been over 6 years, or has it been about that time since they've been active?
Are they still a thing?
Yeah, they're
Uh,
definitely still a thing. Yep. Because
Sorry, I
I
felt like
follow
that was
their
a little.
social medias.
Sorry, I got it, girl. I got it. Catherine's not hit to it.
Mommy, mommy.
Oh, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
It's
definitely
okay. It's
missed it.
okay.
Maybe when
I
listen
caught
to
it.
this over,
That-
I'll be like, oh, I'm a dumbass. That's what I missed.
No, it was. I feel like at that point it was a Scorpio telepathic thing right there.
You got it, girl.
Oh, Kat, now you know how I feel. Two episodes ago we had Justina on,
Oh,
and it was two
Justina,
Aries.
yes.
Now it's two
Oh,
Scorpios talking to an Aries.
Oh, that is so funny. And you two are Latina, and we both were. Hey, that's hilarious. How does that happen? We didn't plan that at all. That was
No, it's just hitting me
amazing
right now.
coincidence.
Oh,
Oh, and by the way, happy belated birthday.
oh,
Just putting
thank
it out
you.
there.
So let's talk about fun trolls, though.
Wait, hold
Jessica,
on. I
hold
want her
on,
to
what
tell
you
me
want-
the story. Shh. It's story
Mhm.
time. Okay, tell me how you got into because she didn't explain it. How did you get into the scene of shuffling?
Oh, so actually, well, so I used to go to events or whatever, but I saw this guy one time that was like shuffling, but like he was also doing like he had like gloves on and he had like these lights and like the way he flowed with like music, like his arms, like his feet, like his movement, I was like, damn, like he is fucking getting it. And I was just like, I want to know what the hell he's doing because I need to learn. And I asked him, I took a few drinks and I was like, let me have the courage and ask him how to dance like that.
Yeah.
He said, no, he showed me like a few basic moves. And so like ever since then, it's how I got into it. And then someone that I was dating at the time was like, oh, you know, it looks cool too. So he tried to get into it. So it helped that like people that I was surrounded by like also wanted to do it. So even like my best friend. So we were like, oh, okay, a little shuffle crew. But then once Echo Stage was open and like fur was like no longer a thing, that's when they created the whole DMV shuffle crew or whatever because there was just so much more shufflers at that time. So because it just like the community was just getting so much bigger at the club, and we would all like vibe with one another. So that's how it became a thing.
Yeah. Because one of the things that we can, of course, both share, we actually went to high school together, Jessica and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so nice that we're here. Like, I'm so happy that you're on our podcast. Like, I don't mean to be cheesy in this moment, but it's just really nice to bring, you know, people that you've known a long time, have just like, you know, a nice relationship with, you know, to be on our podcast and be able to share their stories. And that's what the mission of Let's Geek podcast is to make, you know, people laugh. You can geek with us, have fun, and we just talk about world, you know, just world events, politics, cheese man.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we do have to transition to that. I have a partnership with Salty Mermaid Swimwear. They have wonderful bathing suits for the guy in your life, the girl in your life, or whoever you want. As of course, you know, we're coming into Thanksgiving and we're coming into Christmas, and some people are like, when am I going to need a bathing suit if we're coming into the winter and the fall? Excuse me, not everybody is spending the winter and the fall shocked up. Some people are traveling to wonderful areas where it's summer all the time. So why not have a wonderful bathing suit to commemorate that? So tell them Cat sent you, and the code is SALTY15CAT, and you can get 15% off. And the best part about it is that the money from the purchase goes to charity. And now, transitioning, we're going to the Cheese Make Corner, where we talk about gossip and, you know, events, politics, whatever is going on. So, Cheese Day that's going on, the Estebans. Gloria Esteban is now part of the Red Table Talk. So a lot of people, of course, have had questions about it. What's going on with, you know, Gloria Esteban? Is Jada Pinkett Smith leaving? What's going on? So Jada Pinkett is not leaving. It's her original show. So she is still doing the original Red Table Talk. This is the first spin-off, and it's called the Red Table Talk, the Estebans. So this is basically a spin-off which is directed to, you know, the Hispanic and the Latin market. But it is for everybody to watch. But of course, their focus, like how, of course, with, you know, the Smiths, the focus is with everybody. But of course, you know, it's more of, you know, Black culture and, you know, discussions that are not discussed in the community. So this is a spin-off of them doing the same thing. Of course, it was, you know, really nice. We got to the opening up of the first episode, which I saw. I loved it. I'm a big fan of Gloria Esteban because my mom used to play her when I was younger. she was telling the story about her niece, who's Lily Esteban, who was on Univision, and she's a news anchor on Univision. Apparently, she had gotten divorced 2 years ago from her husband, and he had cheated, and she had told the story that the media apparently didn't know. This is the first time that she's opening up and she's discussing this for the very first time.
I saw that episode too. It was like, I even showed it to my mom.
Did she like it?
Yeah, she did. She's like, oh my God, this is a good show. She's like, what is
Yes.
it? Yeah, so.
Yeah, I am so happy about that. Like, I am so happy about the spinoff. But of course, you know, there have been, like, at the internet, as there are positive comments, there'll always have to be negative comments. Like, one of the comments that I had seen on the internet, and it kind of pissed me off because, you know, it did come from a person, like, in my community where they were like, I understand that they're trying to have their own thing, but what's the whole point of them having, you know, Red Table Talk, the Estebans copying over Jada? And people like me in the comments section had to educate and explain to her why them having their own spinoff is important, and how it's not trying to copy the Smiths. It's the same format, but of course these are different people telling their different stories. So these are other people relating.
Did they not even know that it was Jada's idea anyways?
You would think so, but fake fans, it's the internet. I mean, most people get, you know, their news on Facebook or...
That's true. Isn't it sad that people still believe everything on Facebook, though? Oh, yeah. I was like, I thought we transitioned from that already, and apparently, you know, it's not.
No, it's just like that for a while. They're just like really stuck on it, and it's honestly why I also got off like Twitter. I just like couldn't deal with so much negativity on there anymore. I would get so mad on Twitter all the time.
I don't engage on Twitter unless like it's something I'm really into. Like usually I stay on the side of like K-pop or like gaming or Latin music. That's it. Because if you look at my Twitter feed and what it shows me, it's usually, luckily, it's not the toxic side, but like, you know, K-pop, gaming news, and all that stuff. Because I'm very up to date with gaming.
So we have our last segment, which is called "Damn, Bruh, That's Wild," where I find an incredibly wild story from around the world that 100% actually happened. It is a true story that actually happened. And it's funny because with Yasmin never knows what I'm gonna tell her. She always goes in blind. Just like you're about to go in blind with this story too. So this is your natural reaction to the story as I tell it to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. This article is called "Indian Doctor Paid $72,000 for Aladdin's Lamp After Being Fooled by a Fake Genie." There's a doctor in India, and his name is Dr. Khan. They don't really say what kind of doctor he is, so it's just safe to assume that he's like a medical doctor. So these two young men like come in with their mom, and you know, they say like the mom is sick, and they ask Dr. Khan, they're like, "Hey, Dr. Khan, can you please like treat my mom? You know, she's sick and everything." So as he's treating her, they're basically telling him a story about how they've been associated with the occult and how they just acquired a lamp. And they were told that this lamp could do wonderful things that give you riches and give you, you know, power. I don't know how they were able to convince this doctor. Like, this man went to medical school, but yet these two young people were able to convince him that they owned a genie's lamp while they were bringing their mom to him to get, you know, help for whatever sickness she was dealing with. So, of course, the common sense thing I'm thinking as I'm reading this story is that, you know, clearly if this genie thing was real, why didn't you just wish that your mom was, you know, fine? Like, I'm just saying. Like that, like the whole entire story being like over right there. But they were able to convince him. He goes to their house like a few days later, and they show him this genie's lamp. And of course, we're gonna post this on, you know, our Twitter, so if people want to see what the, you know, genie's lamp looks like. And they were like, as soon as you rub this magic genie's lamp, a genie is gonna appear. And he's like, okay. So Dr. Khan actually rubs the genie's lamp. And I don't know what kind of theater performance they put on for this doctor, but some other con man who is really in on this deal comes out dressed like a genie. Yeah.
Bruh.
And he's so, yeah.
I've been
So
like,
he's-
what the heck?
Yeah, he's dressed like a genie. So he's out here like, yo, I'm a genie. Your wish is my command. This and that. And he makes a wish and he tells her like, you know, in 24 hours, your wish is going to come true and all that goodness. So they say, do you want the genie's lamp? And he's like, sure. And they're like, how much do you want the lamp for? And they're like, 7 million rupees. So rupees, for people who do not know that are listening, is what is the money in India. Like how the Americans have the dollar, the Indians have the rupee. So apparently, according to the article, 7 million rupees is the equivalent to $93,000 in American money, which I find weird because the article opened up saying that the doctor paid $72,000, which also didn't make sense to me as I read this. And this is on mirror.co.uk for those who are trying to figure out where this source came from. He probably spent anywhere from $72,000 to $94,000 for this fake lamp. So they basically tell him, hey, in order for this lamp to work, you're gonna give us some money. You take the lamp home. Do not rub it until you get home. Otherwise, you're gonna curse yourself. And he's like, oh, okay. So he clearly takes the fake lamp home, rubs it. No con man genie comes out clearly. So he realizes that he's not the brightest person. You know, kind of like when you watch like a old Looney Tunes cartoon and they go off the hill and then their face turns into a donkey to symbolize a jackass. Like that's basically what happened when he went back home, but physically in human form. But yeah, so he got upset. Yeah, he got upset because he feels like an idiot. Like,
of course.
Yeah,
like,
so he
what
runs
did he
back.
expect was gonna happen though? Like,
yeah, clearly this is not the smartest doctor. So he runs back to, you know, the house and everything to try to confront the people. And they've already, you know, kind of taken off. They're already on the run because they kind of knew like the guy was going to figure it out once he went home. Apparently, one of the wives of the con men that had set it up, she's on the run to some different city in India. So they're right keeping tabs on her. And this doctor feels silly. And according to this article, there are actually a few more people that are victims of these young men who are convincing people that they have been, you know, dealing with the occult and that, you know, genies are real like Aladdin. So that's what's going on. And that's, damn, bruh, that's wild.
That was wild. Like I'm confused what he thought was gonna be the outcome.
Yeah, this was a doctor. I would never take anybody there. It kind of reminds me, like, if you watch The Simpsons and it's like, hey, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. It's like, hey, everybody. Hi, Dr. Khan. It's like, no.
I'd be so embarrassed.
Well, to, I guess, end up our episode, since, you know, your video has gone viral and you've taken your retirement, what has been going on with you? Do you have any businesses? Are you married? What's going on with you?
Businesses, no. I'm actually a stay-at-home mom. I am married.
That's
I'm
wonderful.
Pregnant with my second child.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Do you know the gender yet?
No, not yet. I'm only 11 weeks pregnant.
Mommy. All right. Well, if you want to, that's your choice. Maybe in the future you can let us know and we can put it on Let's Geek Pod as a follow-up.
Oh, yeah.
So let us know. This is all in your terms. So.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That's exciting. Oh, congratulations, really.
And do you want to see your daughter? We don't have to on this camera. Just remember, this is going on YouTube. So, hi.
Oh, she's so cute.
Because Yasmin's also a mother. She has 2 daughters.
Of course. And then, you know, she's in the background getting in trouble. Do you want to come say hi? Oh, of course you do. Say hi.
Hi. Look how long her hair is. So pretty.
I know. It's been growing since I don't know how
And you know
long.
what's sad? My cat isn't here right now. Otherwise, I grab her and do something like, and this right here
And this
is my child. So, well, thank thank you so much, Jessica. Like, for real. Thank you so much for being on our show. Thank you for being an amazing guest. Thank you for laughing with us. Thank you for joining us, because you didn't have to do any of this and you took, time out of your day.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you. It's kind of like it was a little hard just because I've been going to bed so early because I've been having a lot of morning sickness and stuff.
Understandable.
Oh yeah.
So I was just going to bed early. So I was like, I really hope I can make it stay awake till 8 and do this. So I'm glad.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
And of course, we'll probably get some information on people who are more interested. And if you want, what you've been doing since, at your choice, you can give your social medias. But of course, we'll let, people who are listening know.
Of course.
So, yeah.
And to end this episode, we are bringing back our boy Preservear with his title track, Deep End. Follow him on all social media. It will be linked down below in the description box. And his music is now streaming on all platforms. All right, guys, have a nice weekend. Bye.
Grew up with low self-esteem, not a lady's love that I'm confident. Black and brown is now prominent. Grew up with whites not liking what I look like, or scared or disgusted, or feelings I didn't like. The red and blue white lights kept us running at night. Stories in the news of another minority losing his or her life, cause keeping us off the streets was a priority. Same stories, different lives, none of us having wives or ever getting married. Just baby moms, call her wifey cause her seed is what she carried. If you don't understand this ain't a conversation you can carry. You don't know about getting harassed for walking the streets, handcuffs and getting put in the back seat, running your name till they get declared that your record is neat. You ready to go, but took the time to make you feel like a criminal, thinking what did you did wrong, but that feeling is minimal when you start hating the color that God has given you, due to others making you feeling less than an animal. This ain't hate I'm insinuating, this is real life situations me and you facing. See, I'm angry for a reason, this is my frustration speaking. Don't mistake it as my inner demons. Racism is still alive. If you don't believe that, you ain't seen what I'm seeing. The heart is what I'm trying to liberate. Separate the love from the hate. Wait, it gets deeper. It gets deeper. It gets deeper when you're swimming in the deep end. It gets deeper. It gets deeper. It gets deeper when you're swimming in the deep end. It gets deeper. It gets deeper. It gets deeper when you're swimming in the deep end.